If you use purely your looks to attract others, then you will only attract people for your looks. This is a truth that a lot of people ignore when it comes to dating, or maybe they're just not even aware of it. But what it basically means is, sure, you'll be able to attract people because of your appearance, but they're only going to be drawn to you for that specific reason. And that's a problem. That means you're not going to be able to attract people for long-term, meaningful experiences. If you use only your looks to get people attracted to you, then you'll only be able to attract people who have short-term mentalities, meaning you're not going to have any trouble finding one-night stands and having fun, but you will struggle to find people who will actually stay with you. You have to present more to your character. Well, more to your character. Looks aren't even a part of your character, so you just need to present personality along with looks. You can't rely purely on looks because it doesn't say anything about you beyond that you have great genetics, and that's something you didn't choose. You have no control over that, so it doesn't mean much, or it doesn't say much about you and your value in the dating world. So it's really important that you present the full picture of you when dating. Do not rely solely on just your looks. It's a big issue, and I do believe this problem affects women more than men, simply because of the fact that men are very visual creatures. We are willing to go to war over women who are beautiful, so if a woman is beautiful, guys are not going to care about her personality. They're just going to want to get her in bed and have their fun and then kick her to the curb. And that's an issue. So to all the ladies out there, when you're dating, make sure that you can tell that a guy actually likes you for more than just your looks. And you can do that by simply paying attention to your interactions with him. Is he actually asking questions about you? That shows curiosity about him wanting to learn more about your personality and what makes you, you. So if he asks you about your past, your future plans, your hobbies, what you're passionate about, the things that make you who you are, then that's a good sign that he's looking more, or he's looking beyond just your appearance. Because sure, of course, we all know looks are important. Nobody is going to date someone they're not attracted to. That's a truth that we all get. So there's no point in shaming people over pursuing people they're attracted to. Everyone does that. I don't care who you are. Everyone does that. So that's one part. But just make sure that they find more, that they're attracted to more than just your looks. You do not want to fall into that trap of being able to attract plenty of men because of your looks alone, but not able to keep any of them around you. And another thing I want to touch on real quick here, I've noticed nowadays a lot of younger women, primarily in Western countries and bigger cities, areas like that tend to be a bit more, I guess, free culturally, I guess. I don't know another way of putting it. Socially liberal, maybe that's a good way of putting it. I've noticed a lot of women, young women in those areas or those situations tend to be okay with sleeping around a lot, having a lot of short-term fun. And I just want to touch on that real quick because be very careful. If you're a young woman who's attractive, just be careful. There's not too much wrong with sleeping around. I have to be careful here because there are some things that are certainly wrong with it. But you want to make sure you don't do this enough that you permanently hurt your ability to create long-term meaningful relationships with other people. Because the more that you sleep around, the more that you have those short-term flings, it can hurt your ability to do that. There's something called the Coolidge effect. Look it up. But basically, the more that you sleep around short-term with people, it makes it so you'll struggle to commit to one person long-term because you'll want that variety and the excitement that comes from that variety. So if you try to stay with just one person, you'll get bored pretty quickly because you'll be comparing them to all your previous partners. That's a big problem. So make sure you prioritize meaningful connections, meaningful experiences, you can even have meaningful one-night stands. That is actually a thing. So I'm not saying don't sleep around or anything, but just make sure that every experience is actually meaningful, meaning that you actually have an emotional connection with the person. I understand that we can become incredibly attracted to someone when we're on vacations and whatnot, and we know we'll probably never see them again, and we know something long distance with them wouldn't work. But if we build that beautiful emotional connection with them, I don't see any problem in, taking things to the bedroom and having some fun with them. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that there's an emotional connection before you do that. Because I just don't believe it's good for us to sleep around without that emotional connection. I think it does way more harm than good. Even though, yeah, it'll feel good for a tiny bit, you'll feel wanted, which is probably the main reason why attractive women will sleep around so much when they're young. But that's sleeping around for the wrong reasons. That's doing it because you want attention and validation from people, probably because there were issues in your childhood where maybe you didn't feel love from your parents, and now you're trying to feel that love from men, only it's in the wrong form because they are only loving you for your physical appearance and nothing else. And yeah, there are a bunch of issues there. But I don't want to delve too deeply into it because this could be a whole video on its own, the psychology behind that. But I just wanted to touch on the fact that be very careful when it comes to sleeping around. So do not purely use your looks to attract people, it's a big mistake. It'll lead to a lot of problems further down the road. So in general, just always try to build emotional connections with people and pay attention to whether or not someone on a date is actually showing signs of genuine interest in you, whether or not they're actually asking you questions, trying to get to know you, that sort of thing. Because that will tell you that, hey, this person likes me for more than just my appearance, because that's what you want. But anyway, made this video a bit too long, kind of going somewhat off topic, but somewhat related, so I'll end it here. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And if so, the easiest way you can help me out is just to like, comment, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this topic, and I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!